we always want to have the conversation because we want to understand everyone's intentions, because it's tough. It's tough to step back and say, how do the consumers see this? And do we really need to spend this money on something that, for the most part, people, the 8K was a big one. I'll talk about that because people were very high in 8K for a long time, a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I would love to hear your experience there because, boy, I can't even remember the last time I was in a session at an industry event and there was discussion of 8K, but boy, it was hot for a short period.
Yeah. And we kept having that conversation because we'd say, if we do 8K, that's basically 4 times more expensive than 4K.
Yes.
I mean, you get some efficiencies with the new codecs, but you're talking the H.265, H.266 just to make it reasonable to stream it. And now you're talking less devices, like H.265 on device hardware decoding isn't a thing in a lot of places. So you can't it's just like 8K is cool. And when you see an 8K TV and an 8K image and it's flying and you're standing there in front of 120 inches of beauty, you're like, this is amazing. But that's when you have the conversation. Like, this is going to cost 4 to 5 times as much as your 4K stream, which how many people are even watching that? This is going to cost 16, 20 times your 1080p stream. Let's all step back and just make sure we're doing this for the right reasons. And we're happy to help you if that's what you want. But we do a lot of our conversations are the reality, because we talk to a lot of people who are just passionate and they just want to do the best for their customers and everything else. And then we usually end up stepping in and saying, okay, this is what this is going to cost compared to your current workflow. And then the conversation is like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. That's probably not worth the effort.
Yeah, absolutely. My observation of everybody, and I'm not trying to single out, Disney does a great job at Disney Plus. So my reference to Netflix is not to, say, they're the only ones doing a great job. But, let's face it, I think universally Netflix is a standard that, certainly as I travel around the world, you literally hear the comments from incumbents in that region, in that country, who say, we need to be at Netflix quality. That's what we're shooting for, because their customers are consuming and that becomes their reference, so, but, I think the real, brilliance, magic, if you will, of Netflix, when people say, reach Netflix quality, is that they've done such a phenomenal job of figuring out how to optimize for that consumer experience and the balance that we're even talking about right now, so, you look at their 4K and you look at the bit rates, and obviously those of us who, are really into the weeds or into the pixels, that's a better way to put it, into the pixels, can make cases, where it's like, I can see where they traded off, here and there. And, I wish they would have, but when you step back and you look at their choices on the whole, you have to say it's brilliant, because it looks amazing when you look at the aggregate of the whole experience, over the course of a, hour episode of a TV show, or, a 2-hour movie or whatever. It looks brilliant. The trade-offs were usually absolutely the right ones. Like, if you're going to trade off, like, they trade off in the right places.
Yep.